My name is Alex Walker. You remember it now, don't you? It's back in the glossies, whispered on entertainment shows, tagged in a million social media posts. Funny. 5 years ago, you wouldn't have even had to ask. It was ubiquitous. I was the guy with the lopsided grin and the rebellious glint in his eye, the one who burst onto the scene as the charismatic, brooding lead in the Solar Sentinel franchise. For 3 glorious, dizzying years, I was the it boy. My face sold magazines, my endorsement deals for watches and cologne paid for a house in the hills I barely lived in, and my every move was documented by a ravenous pack of paparazzi. But Hollywood is a fickle beast, a star-eating dragon with a memory shorter than a fruit fly's. Solar Sentinel ended. The scripts that trickled in afterwards were pale imitations of the same character, the rebel, the rogue, the guy with the secret heart of gold. I took a few, desperate to prove my range, but they flopped. Quietly, politely, but decisively. The phone, which once rang with a frantic, incessant rhythm, fell silent. The offers dried up. The invitations to the A-list parties stopped coming. I became a classic cautionary Hollywood tale, the one-hit wonder, the disposable star that everyone, from the studio execs to the fans who once swore undying loyalty, had collectively and conveniently forgotten. I was adrift in a sea of my own irrelevance, and my agent Cheryl was my frantic, shrieking lighthouse. Cheryl, a woman built of equal parts razor-sharp instinct and pure uncut anxiety, was tearing what was left of her highlighted hair out. Alex, for God's sake, you need buzz, any buzz. A DUI, too problematic. A newfound passion for saving rescued sloths, too niche. You need something juicy, something the masses can consume. Her voice was a constant, panicked soundtrack to my days of watching old movies and staring at the stagnant. Then one Tuesday she burst into my house without knocking, her tablet held aloft like a holy relic. "I have it," she declared, her eyes wide with a manic gleam. "It's mad, it's desperate, and it's absolutely fucking genius." The plan was as simple as it was cynical. We were going to manufacture a high-profile, meticulously orchestrated romance with none other than Scarlett Reid. Part 2, a pact of mutual desperation, Scarlett. The name alone evoked a specific era. Once she was the undisputed darling of Hollywood, the girl next door with the soulful eyes who won an Oscar at 20 for her portrayal of a dying poet. She was the face of grace, talent, and wholesome beauty. But the landscape shifted. The gritty, complex roles she was known for were now going to edgier, younger actresses. Her last 2 films had been critical and commercial duds. The narrative was perfect as Cheryl laid it out. 2 stars, once bright, finding a new, brilliant, and unexpected light in each other. It's poetic, the public will devour it. It's a second-chance romance, a phoenix rising from the ashes narrative. You'll be the talk of the town again. We arranged to meet at Verde, an obscenely expensive restaurant so dimly lit and exclusive it felt like a secret society. She was already there when I arrived, seated in a secluded booth. Scarlett Reid in the flesh was both exactly and nothing like her on-screen persona. She was petite, her blonde hair pulled back in a severe, sleek ponytail that highlighted the sharp, perfect angles of her face. Her makeup was flawless, a mask of neutral tones and subtle contouring. She wore a simple, devastatingly expensive black dress. But her eyes, a cool, piercing blue, were what held me. They weren't the warm, empathetic pools from her Oscar-winning role. They were analytical, assessing, scanning me from head to toe with the detached precision of a jeweler appraising a potentially fake diamond. "So, you're Alex Walker," she said, not as a greeting but as a statement of fact. She didn't offer a hand. "Shall we discuss the terms of our collaboration? We did over a bottle of mineral water that cost more than most people's dinner." Her agent, a stern-faced man named Robert, laid out the blueprint. 3 months. That's the optimal engagement window for maximum public interest without triggering fatigue. We'll orchestrate 4 key public appearances: the Apex premiere, the Children's Hospital Gala, a spontaneous weekend in Cabo, and a joint interview on Sunrise America. And there will be coordinated paparazzi sightings at specific restaurants. He pointed a finger at me, will post a minimum of 3 Instagram stories per week featuring her, or an item that subtly references her. A coffee cup with lipstick on the rim, for example. She will do the same. The captions will be provided. Scarlett listened, her expression unreadable. Finally, she took a delicate sip of her water. "So, we're doing this," she stated, her voice flat and devoid of any emotion. "We smile, we hold hands, we look adoringly at each other. We sell the fairy tale. And then after 90 days, we issue a joint statement. A peaceful, mutual parting of ways, citing our deep respect for one another and a desire to focus on our demanding, diverging career paths. We get our names back in the headlines, our relevancy spikes, and we walk away clean, with our dignity ostensibly intact." "Understood?" I nodded, the cynicism sitting on my shoulders like a familiar heavy coat. Understood. It was a transaction. We were 2 jaded performers, about to play our most demanding, most public roles yet, a couple desperately in love. The first few weeks were a masterclass in staged reality. It was a military operation choreographed down to the second. Our first official appearance was at the Apex premiere. I wore a navy blue Tom Ford tuxedo, she was in a shimmering silver gown. We met in the back of a limo 5 minutes before arrival. "Ready?" she asked, her voice a professional monotone. "As I'll ever be." The moment the car door opened, we were transformed. The flashbulbs erupted, a wall of blinding light. She tucked her hand into the crook of my arm, her grip firm and practiced. We paused, we smiled, not at each other but for the cameras. We turned in unison, our bodies angled to provide the best shots. I leaned in and whispered something in her ear, a move designed to look intimate, but I was just reciting the lunch menu from a deli I liked. She threw her head back and laughed, the perfect tinkling sound of delight. It was a flawless performance. Later that night, I posted the mandated photo. It was a slightly blurred, candid-looking shot of her looking up at me, a soft smile on her face. The caption provided by Cheryl read, "Lucky me. Apex premiere." She commented within minutes. The comments section exploded. "OMG, they are so cute. Is this real? Power couple alert, we did this again and again." A spontaneous stroll through the farmer's market, resulting in a dozen photos of us laughing over heirloom tomatoes. A cozy dinner at a restaurant where we knew the paparazzi were tipped off. We were playing our parts perfectly, two marionettes dancing on strings pulled by our agents. But beneath the surface, the sheer artifice was exhausting. Every glance, every touch, every public word was calculated. We were building a beautiful house on a foundation of pure sand. The turning point was supposed to be another box on our PR checklist, a romantic alfresco dinner at La Terrazza, a trendy spot with a beautiful patio overlooking the city. The weather forecast had been clear, but Los Angeles weather is as unpredictable as Hollywood. Midway through our appetizers, the sky, which had been a serene canvas of orange and pink, turned an ominous gray. Without warning, it opened up. This wasn't a gentle, romantic drizzle, it was an angry, torrential downpour, a proper monsoon-like deluge. Waiters scrambled, grabbing tablecloths and chairs. Other patrons shrieked and fled for cover, their expensive outfits being ruined. Our perfectly staged romantic evening was dissolving into chaos. I looked at Scarlett, expecting to see frustration, annoyance at the ruined plan, but she just sat there perfectly still as the cold rain plastered her designer dress to her skin, ruined her meticulously styled hair, and washed away her flawless makeup. A single drop of water traced a path down her cheek, looking eerily like a tear. And then something broke. A small, almost silent giggle escaped her lips. It was a choked, surprised sound. Then another. And then she was laughing. Not the polished, camera-ready laugh I'd heard on the red carpet, but a loud, unguarded, gasping for air, joyous sound that seemed to erupt from a place deep within her soul, a place the public had never seen. It was real. It was messy. It was beautiful. I stared at her, stunned. And then I felt it too. A bubble of genuine amusement rose in my chest, and before I knew it, I was laughing with her, a real, hearty belly laugh I hadn't heard from myself in years. We were two drowned rats sitting in a puddle of our own ruined evening, laughing like absolute fools. In that moment, there were no cameras, no agents, no scripts, no carefully constructed personas. There were just Alex and Scarlett, soaked to the bone and sharing a moment of pure, unscripted humanity. The drive home was different. The usual professional silence was gone. We talked, our words tumbling out, fueled by the bizarre energy of the night. "I thought you were going to be a total diva about the rain," I admitted, wringing water from my sleeve. She smirked, a genuine crooked smile that made her look 10 years younger. "I thought you were going to bolt for the car like everyone else." That night was the crack in the dam. The professional barrier between us began to crumble. Our dates started to evolve. We began meeting outside of the scheduled PR events. In a minimalist kitchen, two friends sit cross-legged on the floor amidst greasy takeout boxes, sharing stories and laughs over the banality of reality TV as the comforting glow of the overhead light envelops them. In the soft glow of a nightlight, the woman shares her deepest fears about the darkness, her voice tinged with vulnerability as she reveals the lasting impact of her past. On a bustling movie set, the two actors portray their glamorous public personas, but beneath the surface lies a web of complicated emotions as they wrestle with their true selves amid the bright lights. In the bustling green room, just moments before going live, the two actors stand on the brink of an emotional precipice, feeling the weight of unspoken truths amidst the vibrant chaos. In the vibrant television studio, the two actors carefully deliver rehearsed answers under the bright lights, while the host's keen gaze suggests she is ready to uncover the truth behind their glamorous facade. In the tense atmosphere of the live interview, the actors grapple with the weight of expectation, their faces reflecting a pivotal moment where authenticity may challenge the carefully crafted narrative. With a steady gaze into the camera, the actor makes a courageous choice to speak truthfully, breaking through the constraints of the rehearsed narrative while the host watches in astonishment. As the actor recounts a poignant memory filled with vulnerability, the atmosphere shifts, transforming the studio into a space of genuine connection, while the woman's empathetic gaze underscores the depth of their shared experience. In the midst of the live interview, a shared glance between the two actors reveals the blossoming bond they've formed, captivating the audience with the unanticipated depth of their interaction. As the tension in the studio transforms into a shared emotional experience, the audience leans in, captivated by the unfolding vulnerability and the authentic connection between the actors. In a compelling moment on stage, the two actors dismantle their previous personas, revealing their true selves to the audience as the atmosphere shifts from performance to genuine conversation. As the male actor passionately articulates his feelings, the studio is charged with intensity, drawing both the host and the audience into a profound exploration of vulnerability and truth. In a heartfelt exchange, the actors find joy amidst vulnerability, laughter breaking the tension as the audience responds with smiles and tears, moved by the genuine connection unfolding before them. As the interview comes to an emotional close, the dimmed lights evoke a sense of intimacy, while the host expresses admiration for the raw honesty that the actors bravely shared. As the audience erupts in applause, the actors share a knowing smile, recognizing the powerful bond they formed through their courageous honesty and the shared journey they embarked on during the interview. Backstage, amidst the quiet aftermath of the interview, the two actors share a moment of reflection, their bond deepened by the vulnerability they unveiled together, highlighting the unexpected friendship born from authenticity. In the bustling hallway outside the studio, the palpable excitement of the crew underscores the success of the interview as discussions of admiration and pride echo among the production team. Stepping outside into the evening air, the actors pause to reflect on the weight of their shared experiences as the setting sun casts a warm glow over the city skyline, hinting at new beginnings blossoming from their candid revelations. As they stroll through the vibrant city streets, laughter fills the air, marking a newfound sense of freedom and connection that has emerged from their previously guarded lives. In a charming cafe filled with the aroma of freshly brewed coffee, the two actors find solace in each other's company, ready to explore the depths of their newfound friendship away from the spotlight. In the cozy ambience of the cafe, the actors delve into meaningful discussions, their laughter and animated gestures revealing the strength of the connection they've fostered amid the chaos of their lives in the limelight. As they sink into the comfort of their cafe surroundings, the actors find themselves exchanging intimate stories, their shared struggles creating a deeper understanding as they lean into the support of one another. As the sun sets outside, bathing the cafe in a golden glow, the woman feels a wave of relief wash over her, recognizing the blossoming of a supportive friendship that transcends the challenges of their public lives. In a moment of joyful laughter, the actors share a bond that transcends the pressures of their careers, their reflections in the cafe window serving as a metaphor for the merging of their personal and professional lives. As they exit the cafe, their radiant smiles reflect a newfound sense of purpose and connection, with a playful nudge symbolizing the lightheartedness that now defines their evolving friendship. As the city skyline sparkles to life at dusk, the actors embrace the limitless possibilities that lie ahead, sharing dreams and aspirations filled with newfound optimism and camaraderie. Amidst the lively atmosphere of the city streets, the actors share laughter and carefree moments, their intertwined hands illustrating the strong bond they've forged, ready to tackle the future together. Captivated by the lively performance on the street, the actors pause to revel in the moment, their expressions reflecting the pure joy of being present and connected, free from the weight of their public personas. Strolling through a vibrant park filled with blooming flowers, the actors engage in light-hearted banter, their laughter echoing amidst nature, symbolizing the growth and renewal of their friendship. On a sunlit park bench surrounded by nature's beauty, the actors engage in heartfelt conversations about their aspirations, their intertwined fingers symbolizing the strengthening connection they've fostered. "You know," I said, my voice quieter, more serious than any I had used all morning. The studio seemed to hush. "Jessica, when I first learned that Scarlett, as a little girl, hid a homeless cat in her bedroom for 3 whole years because she was terrified it would be put down in a shelter." I paused, letting the sheer unexpectedness of the statement hang in the air. I saw her breath catch. Her publicist, Robert, standing just off camera, turned a terrifying shade of purple. That's when I knew, I continued, my voice firming with conviction. Underneath this Hollywood smile, the glamour, the accolades, is the most tender, the most fiercely protective, and the bravest person I have ever had the privilege to know. A deafening, profound silence swallowed the studio. You could have heard a pin drop. Scarlett went utterly pale. Her hand, which was resting on her knee, trembled slightly. I had broken the contract. I had shattered the fourth wall. I had taken a piece of her authentic self and held it up for the world to see, and in doing so I had exposed our entire charade to its core. I had gambled everything. Then I saw her eyes well up with tears, glistening like diamonds under the harsh studio lights. But they weren't tears of anger or betrayal. They were tears of sheer unvarnished emotion, because I had remembered, Because I had chosen that story. Because in front of everyone, I had told a truth that was only meant for us. The silence felt like an eternity. Jessica Laurent for once was speechless. Then Scarlett leaned into her microphone. Her voice was a soft, trembling whisper, but it echoed through the studio with the force of a thunderclap. Yes, she said, a single tear finally escaping and tracing a path through her studio makeup. That's true. Our interview ended in a media sensation. But not because we had delivered a flawless performance. It was because we had finally courageously stopped acting. We had, in front of millions, chosen a messy, complicated truth over a clean, beautiful lie. We walked out of the studio side by side, the chaotic aftermath, the frantic producers, the stunned crew, Robert's apoplectic sputtering fading into a dull roar behind us. The heavy doors swung shut, muffling the noise, and we found ourselves in the sterile, silent hallway. She stopped and turned to me. The professional mask was gone, completely and utterly. In her gaze, there was no more cynicism, no more fear, no more calculation. There was only a raw, breathtaking, and terrifying vulnerability. It was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. She searched my face, her eyes asking 1,000 questions. "Alex," she began, her voice soft but steady, "is our contract over?" I looked at her, at the real, complicated, brave, and beautiful woman standing before me. I felt the last vestiges of the character I was supposed to play, the ghost of Alex Walker, movie star, fall away, leaving only the man I actually was. A slow, genuine smile touched my lips for the first time all morning. It felt unfamiliar and right. "No," I replied, reaching out and taking her hand, not for a camera, but for me. "I think it's only just beginning. For real." Sometimes the greatest love stories don't start with a grand gesture or love at first sight. Sometimes they start with a lie, a transaction, a desperate pact between two lonely people. But they can only truly begin when you find the courage to speak your truth, to tear up the script, and to risk everything you thought you were fighting for a chance at something real.